You're welcome back to study section 11 on AMP 201. I will be taking you through a quick tour on the topic concepts of wildlife and wildlife management. Introduction. The conservation of natural resources in the wild has grown to include a wide range of concepts such as rational use, sustained yield, multiple use, and restoration. So, in the process of making the land to sustain the production of annual crops of wildlife, the needs of wildlife are balanced with the perceived needs of man by considering ecological principles such as carrying capacity of the habitat. So at the end of this study section, you should be able to explain the philosophy of wildlife management. Secondly, you should be able to define some of the basic concepts of wildlife. Thirdly, you should be able to discuss all the types of wildlife management. And fourthly, you should be able to explain fire as a range management tool. Let's discuss this learning outcome one after the other. Philosophy of wildlife management is the process that deals with protecting endangered and threatened species and subspecies and their habitats, as well as with non-threatened agricultural pests and game species. So other methods such as reforestation, predator control techniques such as trapping, reintroduction of species or hunting may also be used to help manage desirable or undesirable species. The second learning outcome, basic concepts of wildlife. The following are the basic concepts of wildlife, which includes the following. The first one is wildlife, which is being referred to as all forms of wild animals and their environments. Alternatively, it can also be referred to as non-domesticated plants, animal and other living organisms. We have wildlife management. This is the active manipulation of wildlife animals and their habitats for the benefit of mankind. Wildlife conservation. This practice involves strategies for the protection and rational utilization of both the wildlife animals and their habitats. Also, we have wildlife gardening. This is the concept at curating an environment that is attractive to various forms of wildlife, such as birds, reptiles, insects, and mammals. And lastly, we have the wildlife garden. A wildlife garden is made up of a variety of habitats that have either been deliberately created by the gardener or allowed to self-establish by minimizing maintenance and intervention. Kindly read more about the concepts of wildlife in your study materials. So we have types of wildlife management, which include manipulative management and custodial management. Manipulative management is the method that acts on population by either changing numbers by direct means or influencing numbers by indirect means of altering food supply, habitat, density of predators, or prevalence of disease. While custodial management is a preventive or protective type of management, it aims at maximizing external influence on the population and its habitat. So, manipulative management is appropriate when a population is to be harvested or when it decreases to an unexpectedly low density or increases to an unacceptably high level. While custodial management is appropriate in a national park where one of the stated goals is to protect ecological processes. There are two conservation methods, and this includes on-site conservation and off-site conservation. On-site conservation is the process of protecting an endangered plant or animal species in its natural habitat, either by protecting or clearing up the habitat itself or by defending the species from predators. Example of on-site conservation in Nigeria are national parks, games reserve like Obudu Cattle Ranch, that is Kanji Lake and Yankari, and also the off-site conservation. This is the process of protecting an endangered species of plant or animal by removing part of the population from a threatened habitat and placing it in a new location, which may be a wild animal or within the care of humans. Examples of off-site conservation in Nigeria are zoological gardens and domestication of certain wildlife species such as African giant rat and grasshopper. Historically, man has used fire both as useful and destructive tool for hunting, war, roasting meat, warming food, and so on. So in the wildlife management, when timely done, the use of fire has advantage with respect to one, it improves the feasibility within the forest and park. Secondly, it improves the production of annual and permanent grasses, and also it averts the danger of burning by poachers. And lastly, it creates easy movement within the range and parks. So we have different types of burning in range management, which are early burning and late burning. The early burning is usually carried out between November and December, mainly to reduce the quantity of perennial grasses, while late burning is done between March and April, mainly to reduce the number of trees, shrubs, forests within a reserve or a park, and it helps in the regrowth of more perennial grasses. At this junction, I hope you've learned one or two things from this video section. You can read more from your study materials. Join me for the next study section. Thank you for listening.